This is my Leopard Gecko Rockstar, and this is his tank. Kind of boring, huh? Well, today I'm building him a brand new 40-gallon bioactive setup. Let's get into it. Step 1 was the background, so I took some measurements and went to work spraying expanding foam all over the back. As I was working on this, a steady stream of other supplies were arriving at my door. Alright, so the basic background is done. Nothing complicated. The foam is nice and solid. These PVC in the wall are going to be used to house air plants, actually. So I thought that would look kind of cool. You know, to be honest, I have a plan going into this. A lot of it is just me making up stuff as I go, so, we'll see what we get. Now I've got like a full workspace set up here. As you can see, all the foam is down. And I've made some markings on the foam at the places I want to cut. I'll use this razor blade for the bigger stuff, and like a Dremel for some of the fine edges. Now let's get the foam carving. This process allows me to shape the background and give the silicone a better surface to adhere to. I use a knife for the big areas and a Dremel for smaller, finer details. I also frequently use a shot vac to clean up debris and make sure to wear safety goggles and a mask. This process took a very long time, so I won't waste much time on it. And now the background was finished. After cleaning up the tank, it was time for the fun stuff. So after a couple weeks of foaming and dremeling, I'm finally ready to smear the whole background of silicone and then pour sandal over it. So I already tested with one area of the background. I think it's going to give me the look I want. So now we just got to fill in all the rest of it. That way, if the tank moved into its permanent home, we can really get to the fun stuff. Like I do with most of my terrariums, I will start with a drainage layer of sand. Now, for the primary layer of substrate, I will be using a bit of sand, topsoil, and cocoa fiber. Now it's time to hardscape. I'll be using cork bark, spider wood, dragonstone, and a water bowl and a pre-made cave. So I'm going to start with the cave, which I think will look nice in this corner right here. First I gotta get this tag off it though. However, there's the obvious problem of all this gap behind it, which I think is an easy enough solution. Actually, no, I might not really need a solution now I'm looking at it. There's a couple little areas I want to fill, though. I don't want anyone getting stuck back in there. Just use a bit of leftover cocoa fiber. Gonna put it back down behind there. Now for the water bowl, which I think will go quite nicely in this corner over here. Sit right there below where the door is open. Yeah, okay, cool. As for the rest of the materials, it'll just be trial error as to where it looks best. I'm going to start with this very nice large piece of lava rock, which I think, not lava rock, dragonstone, which I think will look really nice. Yeah, pushed in right there, and then build around it a little. Kind of create a formation. Okay, but what about some wood? War with bubble wrap. Oh my god. Bubble wrap is gonna kill me. Now, as you can see, spiderwood has the most beautifully gnarled appearance, and I think it's gonna look just amazing in here. This is appealing to me. So this side is going to be the basking area, so I have to kind of think about that when I'm working with the rocks. But I should spread the rocks around, just keep cohesive. I got this big empty spot. What do I do in the middle of the tank? talk about how Rockstar's literally watching from his old habitat. Hey, buddy. All right, then that makes plants the next step. Obviously, my plant selection is basically succulents. I've also got a couple air plants inside. This jade plant is particularly nice. And so yeah, I gotta remove the dirt from them so that they won't have any of this fertilizer stuff brought in with them, and then they will be next. Alright, the plants are what's gonna bring this all together, so let's get to work. For the biggest plant, I'm planning to dig right in here. Let me just make this hole. This plant kind of turned into multiple plants while I was washing it off. I'm just gonna plant them kind of all back in there together. Alright, what do you guys think for the final plant setup? I'll show it in more detail right now. So this is going to be a warmer side and a cooler, humider side. Most of the plants are concentrated over there, but this little guy hopefully will grow bigger. He's going to go right there because this is the dry side and he's a pretty dry level plant. So yeah. So we'll see how this all works out. Hopefully they all take. If not, it's a large enough tank. It'll be fairly easy for me to get back in there and add more plants in the future. Now we're going to tie this all back together with another finalizing layer of sand. It's starting to look about how I envisioned, but I can still make it a little better. Now we're just going to shove some sphagnum moss in a couple different areas. But mostly on this side to aid with the humidity retention. And or maybe put them around the plants that'll help them leach some water out. And then most of it will go inside his cave because he does need that kind of thing inside his cave. He does need basic humidity in there, I think. I do like that. Now, as you may know if you've been watching my channel thus far, isopods need food. Dead leaves are best. This means it's finally time for one of my favorite parts. Obviously, the best part will be introducing the main man, my lizard Rockstar himself. But next to that, my favorite part will be adding the isopods. I have a colony of powder orange isopods. If you want to see a video about a setup for a container designed just for these guys, check out the video in the description below. Let's put these guys in. Put the whole colony in and let them go and do what they will. Last but not least, we'll put these screen lids back on. Looking good. So what do you guys think? This is by far the biggest project I've done on the channel at this point. I mean, between all the time it took me to kind of conceive it, gather materials, build the background, create it, it took me about 4 months. I started working on this in January. I'm finishing it in April, probably not May or June until this episode comes out, but it's April as of now. In fact, it's like right before Easter. So yeah, I'm going to give the tank a little bit of time to settle, and then Rockstar will be added. I also still got to add the thermometers and his heat lamp, so I'll do that too. Alright, wait time's up. Let's introduce Rockstar to his new home.